You being here with me right now, I don't believe it's coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences at all. So if you're watching this right now, I am happy to tell you that you have come to the right place and you're not going to leave this few minutes, or depending on how long I talk, you're not going to leave this the same. And so congratulations. How to control your thoughts. Where am I going to start? Let me tell you why it's important to master your thoughts. Why it is so important to actually train your thoughts to the point that you become a master of your thoughts. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That has to be one of the realest and truest statements. A lot of people underestimate the power of the mind. I like to say that reality itself is a thought from God. I like to think that no matter what you believe in, you have to at least consider the thought that something indeed created this. Everything you see, this whole reality, the fact that light exists and you can see through light and the absence of it, it is proof that something bigger than us exists. Something that the human mind cannot really fathom is created this reality. You have to at least accept that, or at least come to that realization. Everything was created from thought. It means that everything in your life right now, everything that has been manifested in your reality was created by thought. The mental state you are right now, the physical state you are right now, everything first comes from thought. It is important to train your mind because from your mind comes everything. Before you make a move, before you say, I want to get up, before you stand up, I want to eat, it is first a thought before you do. Thoughts come before you do. Thoughts come before you react. Everything starts from a thought. So again, as a man thinketh, so is he. It's a simple example of that. If someone is always thinking, oh, I'm tired, everything is so stressful, I just want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, oh, life is so stressful, everything's so stressful. What does that say? It says you are lazy, you're a lazy bum. If you're always thinking, solution. How do I fix this? How can this be fixed? How can this be better? What does that say about you? It says you're entrepreneurial. Did I get that word? You're entrepreneurial. That word is weird. Anyway, it says that you're potentially an entrepreneur. It is important for you to train your thoughts, because if you're unable to train your thoughts, you will find yourself in situations, in relationships, in businesses, in jobs that you probably shouldn't even be in. Now, how to train your thought. I could be very animated when I talk, so ignore me if I'm always touching my hair and doing stuff. Let's bring my hair to the front. First thing you need to do, and to be honest, if you can figure this out, if you can do this, you have solved 50% of your problem. In fact, maybe 80% of your problem. And this is really going to be great for those of you who are overthinkers like me, who worry too much, who think too much. This is going to be perfect for you. First thing you have to realize, the first place you have to be at is for you to look at thoughts as not coming from you. Let me repeat that. You have to picture thoughts as things that do not come from you. And let me make an example. So do this with me. Close your eyes. If you're watching me right now, I just want you to close your eyes. Let me follow you. Close your eyes, right? If you have not closed your eyes, please close your eye. And tell me the first thought that comes to your head. I can guarantee you that every person that did this little thing with me had a random thought. It was probably, like for me, I thought of a cup. You probably thought about someone, you probably thought of blue, a color, you probably thought of a thing. So every person who did this with me, I can guarantee that you had a random thought. It's probably the most random thing on earth. Good. My point is coming. Thoughts are more random than you think. A lot of people like to think that all thought actually comes from them. No. If you want to know, if you want to master how to train and control your thoughts, you have to first come to a place where you see thoughts as things dropping into your consciousness. You have to look at every thought that comes into you as something that dropped into your consciousness and not an expression of who you are. So I mean that by saying that, let me give an example of something that happened to me. So I went to, because I was trying to get a new nose ring, and I went to a clothing store to get one. And I was looking through a couple of them because they had like, a pack where there are a couple studs on them. So I checked for one, and I saw that a few of them were missing. I saw another one, a few were missing. So I said to myself, that means people are taking these things. People are probably like, going around the store and taking it. They'll just take like one piece of the stud or two of them. I noticed that some of them were missing. And I had the thought to do the same. Now, it is not in my nature. I am not a thief because that is stealing at the end of the day. It is not in my nature to just take something that doesn't belong to me. Now, if I had lingered on that thought, I probably would have taken it. Are you with me? But as the thought came into my head, the next thing I did was kick it out immediately. Because I personally, this is something I practice. I look at every thought as not something coming from me, because again, that thought cannot originally come from me because it is not in my nature to steal. So what that tells you is, and that is the way I feel like if you're able to look at things this way, it will be much easier for you to train your thoughts, to control your thoughts. You first have to monitor what is coming into your consciousness. So because a lot of things create thoughts, a lot of things create these words, sentences, things that just drop into your consciousness, right? So for instance, your emotions can create thoughts that fall into your consciousness. Your body can send signals to your brain in the shape of thoughts. Your environment, the people you hang out with, energies that you interact with can send these thoughts to you. Because one thing about the world is, you see how we always say that we are one. There is so much truth to that, because even on a mind level, even on a mind state, we are connected in the mind sphere. So much so that when you are spending so much time with somebody, someone is not happy, you can feel it. Or when someone is emotional, you get emotional as well. When someone is giving you bad vibes, you give back bad vibes. It's because we are all in a mind space. We all share the same mind space. We are all one mind, not body. Because for you to be one with a body, you have to marry. So we're not one body. We are all one mind. We are all one. So let me put even more context to this so you understand even better. Now, the human being is probably the only creature on earth. I might not know. There might be other things I don't know. I cannot claim to know everything. But from my knowledge, the human being is the only thing that has free will. And what is free will? Free will is thinking. Free will is thinking, is juggling thoughts in your mind to decide. That is free will. So I can tell you for a fact that animals have thoughts. This same thing that drops into animals have the same impulses. They call it instincts, right? So an animal will probably think, I'm hungry and wants to eat. He's a dog, for instance. A dog will probably go, food, and he's thinking of food. A dog will probably think, run, and he runs. So everything, whether human being or animal, before you do anything, it starts with a thought. The difference between animals and human being is we have the ability to take these thoughts and make something out of it and decide on and make decisions out of these thoughts. So I can think I want to eat, but I have the will to decide not to. Or I want to smoke, but I have the will to decide not to. Or to even keep it at the back of my mind until I go back, until I want to do it. So let me go back to what I was saying. Picture thoughts as things dropping into your consciousness. That's the first step. The second step is, this is where you put yourself into the mix. Because the first part of it is thoughts will come into your mind, happens randomly. There are people who don't have peace. Words are all over their heads that they really don't. There's no quiet. Now, next thing you do is weigh the thoughts that you hold on to. Because you first have to hold on to a thought before you think about it. So let's say you're chilling with a friend, the friend who's really rich, and then you have this envious thoughts like, looking too good though. It is you who will decide to hold on to that thought. Now, if you hold on to that thought and you're thinking about it, that feeling of envy will only grow because you have given that thought soil to blossom. I've reached my talking threshold. Let me take a breather. All right, so like I said, this is my second point. When this thought drops into your head, weigh the thoughts that you allow stay. Weigh the thoughts that you hold on to. What I mean by that is question the thought. Ask yourself, is this a good thought? Is this a bad thought? Does this thought make sense? Where did this thought come from? Trust me, you're good to go. If you can do these things, you eventually come to a place where you control not just your thoughts, but you control your reality, you control your emotions, you control your state of mind. It is powerful. This thing I'm telling you is powerful. People say, oh, I got a leading from the Spirit. Spirit wants to communicate with you. Sometimes it comes as a thought. It comes as a thought dropped into your consciousness and you hold it. Sometimes for the devil, the enemy can speak something to your ear like, your friend is a bitch. And you hold on to it. Instead of just discarding it like, that's not my thought. I don't think my friend is a bitch. The way to control is by mastery. And how do you get mastery? It is by practicing. So now that you've heard this, every single thought that you have, you can let thoughts fly by, right? Let them fly by. But the ones that you hold on to, question them. Question your thoughts. Question, where is this coming from? And try to choose the right thoughts. Another thing that you can do that could really, really help, this is a bonus, is try meditating. And people like to call meditation, people try to talk about meditation like it's some spiritual practice that blah, blah, blah. Meditation is just simply quieting your mind. Doing it daily. Learn to quiet your mind. Learn to have those moments where you sit in silence, you sit still, and you are conscious of your thoughts and you are slowly quieting your mind to a place where your mind is completely quiet. And the more often you do that, the more you become conscious and the more your mind is quiet. You find that you're more peaceful. You find that you're more present. You'll just be wiser for it. You'll be more at peace and things won't shake you. You have space to believe in. And that's what I say. When a person who is at peace, you have space to dream. You have space to believe. But someone whose mind is cluttered, you don't have space because you're worried all the time. You're stressed all the time. You just, no peace. Anyone can practice this. Anyone, whatever you believe in, is something you can practice. And the more you practice it, it's like building a muscle. The more you practice, the better you become at it, the quicker you pick this thing. Because I cannot guarantee you that you will not I cannot guarantee that this is going to happen for you quickly, where you'll be able to control your thoughts easily. No, it takes time. And the more you do it, like I said, the better you will get, the more at peace you become, and you will see a change in your life generally. You even start to look healthier. right? It's a beautiful thing, and learning how to control your mind is one of the secrets of peace. But even though I am Nigerian, spending a great amount of my life in Nigeria, I I was born in a religious home, so I have this connection with God and Jesus. The way to true peace is by knowing Jesus, and that's facts. And the reason I say that, because the whole point of controlling your thoughts is so that you can be more peaceful. But if you really, really want peace, because even though you can control your thoughts, even though you have free will, you will not always make the right decisions. You will not always think the right things. You will not always choose to think the right things. And realize that this world is more than you see. Knowing Jesus helps you understand things that the regular people will not understand. That's it. It lets you understand your place, your place in this reality, and how your place is not limited to this reality. If you know, you know. Addition of this Christ thing that I just said, what that does is it gives you an advantage in your life, generally in your life, over every other person who doesn't believe. Because while other people are dependent on their own reasoning and their own thinking on what to do or the decisions to make or the thoughts that they allow sit in their hearts, you are not governed by your thoughts. You are governed by the thoughts of the Maker. Because again, one, you and your Father are one. I and my Father are one. That's what I like to say. I and my Father are one. What you really want is the mind of God for you, and not your mind, because we are so flawed that we don't know anything. The consciousness that created you, has to know more. That's at least what I think. So I urge people, if you listen to this, if you got this far, that yes, it's nice that you can make your own thoughts, you can make your own decisions, but look at life like this. Look at your life and decision-making process as tree branches. Every decision that you make opens a new path. Let's not call it tree branches, let's call it paths. So every decision that you make opens a new path. So for instance, you grew up in this family, something as small as the religion. So let us say that you grew up in a Muslim family, a new path has opened for you. And you grew up in a Christian family, a new path created for you. So let us say that your first boyfriend or first girlfriend was at the age of 18, path open. Let us say you're a woman, you want to get married, there are two guys on your case, right? And you choose one guy, different path opens. And let's say in another reality you chose the other guy, that's a different path opening. So that is how decisions are. So every single decision you make, you've opened a new path, a new reality for yourself. So the benefit of one, quieting your mind, trusting in God, having this belief in the higher power, and that this higher power has a thought for you and has a plan for you, and you are dependent on that plan. You are dependent on God's will for you. You find that before you make any decision, you consult your Maker in prayer. You consult. I'm applying for this job. I have the opportunity to choose. Consult your Maker. On your own, you might decide, I want to take this job, but something in your spirit says, don't take the job. In fact, the part that you don't have you're unsettled inside, that's the spirit leading you to not take the job. Maybe because there's something better for you. So you always have to believe that God's plan and purpose for you is for your good. That will take you to your expected end. And that's the benefit of not trusting your own mind and trusting the mind of God for you. So I just added a better ending, to that. But at the end of the day, I hope that I've been able to teach you how to control your mind and control your thoughts. If you've made it to this part of this video, I don't know how it happened, but I was able to, I'm sure I've been able to put something in your heart that would grow into a beautiful garden. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you for for listening to me yap and talk, for listening to me teach, and thank you so much for being here. See you next time. No, I don't see you, but yeah.